I was going to wear my hoodie, but I edit these videos and they're easy to decipher which day it is to what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So if I keep wearing my hoodie all the time, I'll be like confused.
I'm also like fully dressed and make-upped today because I got up early. I had a counselling session over Zoom today.
Yeah.
It's really good. I always feel like really like G'd up after I have a session. It's just like I said, it's just nice to have someone whose job it is to sort of figure out human ways of thinking and human behaviour. It's just nice to have someone justify how you think and feel about certain situations.
Yeah.
And for someone to say, no, it's totally normal for you to feel that way, or yeah, that kind of thing. It's just nice. Just nice to feel like justified in how you think and feel.
Yeah. It's a good start to the day.
Yeah, really good start to the day.
I was thinking before, while I was drinking my coffee, it's different for you, but it'd be fun to talk about like first acting jobs and how it went. Because I was just thinking about my first acting job, which was Hairspray in Aberystwyth, and how much I like learned and how much, like, because obviously I went to theatre school and stuff, and you train and they tell you how the business is, but it's so like, it's not different, but it's, you can never prepare for something, I would think, unless you do it, like fully, you can never fully understand something. So I was just going to ask you as well, like, what, obviously it's different for you because you was a child actress as well, but if we're just talking like adult professional acting jobs, like how that experience was for you?
I mean, I'd waited for it for so long. Like I'd been desperate to be back in theatre since I was a kid, and I've been desperate to be in Les Mis and play Happening. I don't know. I remember like loving the whole rehearsal process and just having like the best time, and then getting to opening night, and someone within the team called me Butch Happening. Yeah. And like made a really big fuss out of how fat I was. And I had just the worst. I had the worst dress run, and I sort of everyone sort of G'd me up for the final show, for the show that evening, the opening show. So I was all right. But yeah, and I said it was like having a real glimpse of just how ruthless and cutthroat and how brutal the industry can be, and that's the only experience I've ever had. Like that was the first and last experience I've had of the industry being that harsh in that sense, like with someone having a go at your appearance. Like that's never happened again. Not within the industry. The fact that it was on my opening night, it felt like a really weird welcome to the theatrical world. Yeah. But then the fact that it's never happened again, I've sort of obviously been very grateful for. Yeah. But yeah, there's certain things that I don't think you can ever prepare for, and certain like things in the industry that are almost not tradition, but just things that are done that you wouldn't know were done unless you are doing them, unless you're like in the industry. Like things like, the thing that always comes to mind is tipping your dresser. Like that's something that I never knew. No. I never knew before I entered the industry, and it took other people in the building to be like, by the way, this is something we do, just to let you know. End of every week, tip your dresser, £5 night. Yeah.
My first contract was only like 4 months, I think. So, but I learned it more in those 4 months really, in terms of like what's expected of me. In like not in 3 years, because I did learn a lot in 3 years. Like I learned how to like dance, and I learned a lot of things.
It's just different lessons.
Yeah, like it's lessons within the industry. But it's a bit weird because my first job was my most difficult as well. Like in terms of like how I was treated, because I felt like, because I was a graduate playing a part, like I was like, the director was horrible to me, like really, really bad. Like just like, because I was at the front a lot at the dances as like Link, and for some reason, say this is the hall we were like doing the dancing in, say behind this camera is the big mirror, which you obviously normally dance towards, so you can see everything through the mirror and go, oh, that's the, you know, so it's like quicker to learn. For some reason, in that rehearsal, he was like, right, everyone face that way. So the mirror was at the back, and at the front of the room was just a bare wall. So I was at the front of a lot of dances, and that naturally you like, because in rehearsals it's like quick. They're like, they'll teach you a dance and you've got to be on it, like, because there's so much to do in like 4 or 5 weeks, whatever. So then, and because the director was also choreographing as well, his brain was everywhere. So he'd be like, yeah, do this, do that, and then do that on one, and he'd walk off and choreograph someone else. So you'd be like, what? And then you got to the assistant choreographer, go, is that a 1 or 8? And he wouldn't have a clue because he'd be like, I don't know, because he's just making it up on the spot.
Yeah.
So I'd be at the front, facing a wall, and I'd go, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go on 8. Because I think he said 8.
Yeah.
I went 8. And everyone else would go on 1. So then you'd be like, oh, right, stop. Like that. And I'd be like, well, he's like, what are you doing? Like, and he would come for me. And it was just like the worst experience ever. Like, I've got like so many stories about it. But it was just really, really bad. And that's, I spoke about this the other day about like losing my voice. When I went for a Wicked audition, it was at that time. So I lost my voice in rehearsals and I couldn't sing my song. It Takes Two.
My stomach grumbling.
And like Without Love or anything like that. So I just couldn't do anything. So it was just like, I was just getting really beaten down. And the worst bit about it was I got called into the company office and there was the director, the associate, the choreographer, all of them. And they just sat me down, and this is like around about the time I had no voice, so I couldn't sing anything, so I felt crap about myself anyway. And it was like, yeah, Ollie, we're like really worried like about this. You know, it's a couple of weeks before we open, and your voice is still not fully back, so you're not sang. So just so you know, because we're so worried, like we're thinking about getting someone else in. Literally, they were like,
oh my God.
they were like, because we have to think about it. Like we can't not have like the opening night or the show to go ahead. You have to be ready. So we're looking in London now, and I'm asking about. So I was just like, are you kidding? And I said to them, I was like, I'll be fine. Like, my voice is gone. Like, but it'll come back. Like,
yeah. You said like 2 weeks, didn't you?
Yeah, still quite a while. And I was just like, listen, like, look, like it'll be fine. Also, I was so upset, and like it. To add on to this, like my granddad, like just passed away like the week before. So it was just the worst time. And I remember leaving that room. I'm like, oh my God. I went to the toilet, like cried my eyes out. And then my mate, who's like a really good friend now, he's called Hugo, was playing Corny Collins. He came out of the cubicle and he grabbed me by the shoulders because I was like young, like, obviously the first job, I hated it because I was in my head, I was like, the director's a knobhead, but this is how it is. This is
the industry.
If you're not on it, like this is how you get treated. Like if you can't, if your voice goes, it's not good enough and all that sort of stuff. Like the pressure's on. And he just grabbed me by the shoulders. I was just like, Ollie, like it's not like this. Do not ever, don't let this ruin your career. Don't let this be the end of you. He's like, we can all see how you're getting treated, and it's not good. Like it's not fair. He's bullying you. Like don't let this bring you down. And I was just like, like he's like, no, honestly, you'll be fine. Like honestly, don't. Like,
this isn't what it's like.
Yeah, and I remember it so like vividly, and yeah, so that was like Hugo like saved me massively, and I think I'd do the same. Like now I would, like definitely, because I remember everyone. Like obviously, I remember like the associates, the dance captains and stuff like that, and the way they were with me, like. Not like I'm more rude now, but I know that if they, well, one, they wouldn't speak to me like that anymore.
No.
They just wouldn't. Not because I'm like, I've climbed the ladder and I'm looked upon. Like it's not. I haven't. But it's just because I'm older.
Yeah, you're older.
I wouldn't take it. I'd be like, who are you talking to? And I'll just call them out, like, because I've done enough body work now to go. That's not cool. You can't just bully someone.
You can't speak to anyone like that.
Yeah, that's not.
Regardless of who they are, or how young they are.
It's not cool. Yeah, like if if I could go back and be like, well, you gave me this part, so I'm obviously good enough for the part, so you let me do it. Like it's fine. Like, but yeah, it was an awful experience. But like I learned so much so quickly, like about like how, I guess, just how it isn't.
Yeah.
Like so I always say like my worst job was my first job, which is the weirdest thing, because normally your first job's like amazing and like it's really like fun, like I just love work, I want to be in all the time. Yeah. You say yes to doing extra rehearsals, you say yes to staying behind because you're like, I'm getting paid for dancing and singing and acting, it's amazing. But yeah, my first job was awful.
It's really hard like finding the balance between being easy to work with because everyone wants to be / I don't want to say should be easy to work with, but you never want to make anything difficult for anyone. Like,
no.
Everyone wants to be easy to work with, but then also like standing up for yourself when you need to stand up for yourself, because there are so many actors who I think are scared to stand up for themselves or say that they're not okay with something in fear of not losing their jobs, or in some cases it might be fear of losing their jobs, but fear of people treating them differently because they've stood up for themselves.
Yeah.
Fear of like almost like losing out, I guess.
There's a way to do it, I guess. That's the probably only thing to say. Like, if you're going to stand up for yourself in that space, like I've seen it happen with older company members going like to the directors, I don't know, like that makes me feel weird, or like, you know, if they've asked them to do something that's unsafe, or they go, can we do, you know, and they always speak out, but politely. And I think that's probably the only way you come out of those situations like untouched, because I've seen it gone the other way, and people have gone, whoa, like, you can't do this, like, and blown the lid, and everyone's like, oh god, like, and then I think then opinions would change of that character.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh god, he's a bit like hot-headed. But if you just handle it well, I think that's the only thing like I said, if I went back, I would be like, I wouldn't stand for it.
Yeah. I just remember getting shouted at during a rehearsal process, and this was like recently, I say recently, in the last few years, and it was one of those moments where the whole cast like stops and everyone goes quiet and everyone looks at you, like one of those horrible moments, and everyone was like really shocked because we were in like a very stressful moment. We were doing like really big changes to the show right before we were putting them in like that evening. It was a high stress situation, but I just literally asked a question. I was like, hey, yeah, I just wondered if there were times within the music where I need to say my lines, because this is all like new music, so I was just wondering if it was in the sheet music where I need to say my lines, just so I know where I'm saying, like when I have to say what I need to say. And this person turns around, and the worst thing is that they were on a balcony shouting at me as well, so it was like a lot bigger than it needed to be. Yeah. And they were like, oh, you think what you need to do is in our script? You think that that's down to us, do you? And like shouted that at me, and then like walked away. And everyone, like, because they walked away, the only person to look at was me. And I remember that horrible feeling of like, oh my God, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And like my whole face going hot. Because I'm like embarrassed, like angry that I've been spoken to like that, but also angry that I've been spoken to like that in front of the entire cast. And also it was so undeserving. And they did come and apologise to me later, but I think only because they were made to. That was, it was a man who spoke to me that way, and immediately after that happened, a woman stood up for me, because it turned out that he was actually wrong, and the lines that I had to say were in the music. And so she came over on the God mic and was like, yeah, actually, Carrie, they are, so if you want to come and go through it with me in 5 minutes up here, that'd be great. So I was just like, it was one of those moments where I was like, I don't know, not to get like gender specific, but I did feel like a vulnerable young woman, because this was like an older man speaking to me that way in front of everyone and trying to like stamp their authority. So I was really grateful to the woman who stood up for me.
Part of the women.
Yeah.
Right, that's that. Thank you for popping by, everyone. That was First Jobs.
So my stomach kept rumbling throughout that because I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten anything yet.
Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.